Hello all, I'm here to talk about my TBR for the month of February as per the Anti-Brain Rot Reading Challenge. So I have about 6 books here in my TBR. First up, I read one of the books in this series, the Around the World in 80 Days series, basically following Michael Pelin of the BBC then as he goes around the world using different means of transportation. So I really liked Pole to Pole, which is the second one in the series, which I read that's the month of January. So I'll be diving into this book in the month of February. The second book that I'll be reading, this one is a horror novel actually by Jonathan Kellerman. So it says at the back, we'll have you looking over your shoulder before you turn out the lights. Say no more, guys. That is all the horror that's it should tell you that about how horrible this book is. So I'll be reading it in the month of February. Next up, this book is a collection of articles about a musical figure in the that's died in the early part of the 19th century, Eric Fenby. So this is a compilation. It is written by many people, articles and memoirs about him. So I will not be reading the whole book, but I'll just be reading some of the articles that are written in the book. So at the back it says, the reputation of Frederick Delius has grown steadily since his death in 1934, and his admirers' devotion to his work increasingly has the characteristics of a cult. This volume was first put together to celebrate the 70th birthday of Eric Fenby, and has been reprinted because of continuing demand. So it goes on to list all those that contributed or wrote articles that have been compiled in this work. The present volume should help to bring more music lovers into contact with one of the most enjoyable of late romantic composers. So he was a music composer of the past era. So I'm going to really dive into it to get to know the guy better. And I think it will have a touch of an element of history too in it. So I'm really looking forward to it. So next up, on the historical, political, non-fiction front, I have The Fringes of Power, 10 Downing Street Diaries, 1939 to 1955. So it is written by Joe Colville, who served under, I think, 3 prime ministers, including Winston Churchill. So it says at the back, at the outset of the Second World War, John Colville, a young diplomat, was seconded from the Foreign Office to number 10 Downing Street. For 9 of the next 16 years, he served 3 prime ministers, much of that time as private secretary to Winston Churchill. At Churchill's side during the war, Colville experienced the defeat of France, the Battle of Britain, and the turn of Allied fortunes in North America and then in Europe. Wow. So you can imagine the amount of history that is packed into this very, very chunky volume. So I'm looking forward to dive into it in the month of February. So on the fiction front rather, this is another, it is quite a slim volume, but I'm really looking forward to dive into it. It says Little Altars Everywhere by Rebecca Wells.